Hey everybody, Realist Front here. I recently received a video request from a user named Truckin93. He asked that I do a video covering the pulley swaps I've done on all these tractors. I've done pulley swaps on 2 of 3 of these, but all of them have had modifications in some way, shape, or form. They all have adjustable tensioner pulleys, which I'll also show you. That'll allow you to run multiple belt sizes, or you can adjust for stretching your belt when you're off-roading, and over time your belts will stretch out and they won't work anymore, but you can just adjust the slack out and keep right on going, which is always nice. Okay, so first one up is my friend Paul's 2003 MTD garden tractor. This tractor does have a pulley swap on the front, not on the back, for reasons like this shifter, as you can see, as it shifts over into reverse, it gets very, very close to the original belt. In fact, it touches it with the factory belt already on there. So if you pulley swap that, the belt would essentially rub this shifter. You'd have to find a different way to route the shifter, or put a couple pulleys in onto this side that make sure the belt pulls this way off of that back pulley to ensure that the shifter linkage does not rub the belt, because you'll either wear your belt out or wear your shifter linkage out over time. That is the original factory MTD tensioner pulley that's just spring-loaded, and obviously the double pulley system that MTD puts on every tractor that they make, which I personally hate. Okay, so up underneath Paul's tractor, I'll show you what we've done to the front pulley. What he has here is what was basically the mower deck drive pulley. You can see it's been cut around right here. This is what used to hang down off the bottom of the whole mower deck and drive the whole mower deck. We cut it off and re-welded it. You can see actually the remnants of the old pulley inside there, and we just cut the sides of that pulley off and mounted this pulley up under it, welded it on so it was centered and so it was at the right height so all these belts would work with it, and it worked perfectly. We didn't have to modify much. We did have to, however, put in these belt retainer holder inner things so the belt doesn't fly off the pulley, you know, at its own will. Here is Paul's self-adjusting tensioner pulley. You can see it's hooked up with a very large, powerful old clutch spring from a Craftsman. It pulls on this pulley and this linkage, which keeps a constant pressure on this to help reduce his belt slippage problem when he gets the double pulley system wet. As you can see, this little stopper right here will only let this whole linkage slide back this way to this point. Then the clutch will allow the belt to slacken. When it tensions this way, it's got all the tension in the world though. It's a very, very strong pulley. So that's the setup on Paul's tractor. Pretty simple. There's only one pulley in the front, the 2 belt retainers, and we did that because we were having issues of slippage. But if you maybe were more proactive about getting a smaller belt or making sure that everything was really, really perfect, you probably wouldn't have to do that. But it really helps when everything gets wet. Okay, so the Craftsman crawler here has not been pulley swapped. I did pulley swap it, but swapped it back when I realized that the ratio was too high and that the big tires made it drive way too fast. And it is a rock crawler, so it needs crawl ratios. So as you can see, the back pulley is the original size bolted to my old custom pulley that I had on there. The front pulley is also the original size. However, this Craftsman has been modified with an idler pulley right there. That is just to help belt tension and enable my use of this tensioner pulley here. And the way this works is you unbolt a bolt on the bottom of the pulley, or loosen it, and this handle right here you can turn one way or the other, and this whole pulley assembly will swing in or out on this giant threaded rod, which will allow you to adjust the tension on your belt. That's basically it for the Craftsman. There's not a whole lot done to that one. Okay, so last but certainly not least is the Murray Mutter. This thing has undergone multiple pulley swaps and has had extensive pulley work done, just because I'm never satisfied with the way I have it set up. But everything I've done is custom, and I've spent minimal money on everything. Almost everything has come off of parts of a mower deck or mower deck drive pulleys or something. But the rear pulley is a drive pulley from the mower deck. That would be the same pulley that runs on the top of your mower deck spindle on a Murray lawnmower. I welded it to the top of an old pulley swap that I did, as you can see. There's the old smashed pulley underneath, connected to the hub, and that basically is completely rust welded to the transmission input shaft. So I've never successfully moved the original pulley. I always just welded pulleys onto the old input shaft hub that was left there. and honestly never had a problem, so I never really cared. The other pulley here is my clutch, as you can see. That's the first part of it. That's the second part of it. I have a dual pulley clutch design, which you can see in another video. I designed it and built it entirely by myself. I'll link it right here in the upper left hand corner so you can see that if you want to. There's my adjustable tensioner pulley here. What you do to that is you unbolt a bolt on the top. You can't really see it, but it's just up here. You can reach it from this wheel well. That is the bolt that tightens and loosens the clutch spring. But if you can't really look in here with the camera, but if you reach in here with a wrench, you can reach the top of this adjustable tensioner pulley, and it will allow you to slide it this way or that way, depending on where you want this belt tensioner. So there's multiple ways to adjust tension on this Murray. You can adjust it with this clutch spring here, or you can adjust it with this tensioner pulley here. The front pulley on the Murray is the old Mower deck drive pulley welded to the stub shaft of the original pulley. So what I did was, the original pulley setup had two pulleys on it, the top one for the engine drive and the bottom one for the Mower deck drive. What I did was I cut the top pulley off and I cut the bottom pulley off and kept that center piece of metal, that this little stamped, these three stamps right here, boom, boom, boom. That's the keyway in these pulleys. So what I did was I saved that piece of metal and welded the top or the bottom pulley to the top of that shaft. So basically swapping the pulley on the top of the shaft. I did have to cut away some metal in the underbody of this Murray lawnmower to fit that size pulley. As you can see, it's pretty big. So I had to grind away that and grind away this side here. And I also custom mounted and reused the old belt retainers from the original Murray lawnmower. Those are both in on each side and they work fine. Belts never fall off this lawnmower. And I've never had belts fall off any of the lawnmowers that I've pulley swapped so far. That's the main reason for using these tensioner pulleys, whether they be spring-loaded or adjusted by bolt or whatever. All my pulley swap lawnmowers have worked great. I've used original parts and just welded them together to make my own stuff work. By all means, you can go out and buy your pulleys, take your old pulleys off and bolt some new ones on. It'll be even easier for you. If you've got the money, then do it. I just prefer to make what I have work because there's no reason not to. It just takes a little bit of time. Probably the same amount of time that it takes you to drive to the store and pick up that pulley that you spent $5 or $6 on, I make myself in that same amount of time. I might spend the same $5 or $6 in electricity welding it though. So it's all in what you want to do. I personally like crafting my own things, so I take pride in building things completely from scratch. So that's what I've done to pulley swap all of my lawn tractors here to become off-road lawn mowers. So yeah, that's the pulley swap video. Thanks to Truckin93 for the question. Hopefully this video helps you guys in pulley swapping your lawn mowers, whether they be for racing or for off-roading. It's all pretty much the same. It's pretty easy to do. It's a lot of fun. It makes your lawnmower go a lot faster. Just be safe, you guys, and you know, if you're going too fast, make sure you got really good brakes. But thanks for watching my video, and see you later.